Eventually, one day in Avalon, a legendary king will wash ashore. Broken, beaten, smitten through the helm, his rule in ruins, brutally o'erwhelmed, betrayed by traitor knights, kith, kin, and wife, but mostly by his sins now come full light. For truth is never too long out of sight, and lies we tell ourselves are prone to pale. I'm tempted to recount the former tale of dubious birthright and civil strife, of sword and stone divining ruling right, the mightiest of brands, Excalibur, forsaken by the Lady of the Lake, but only for the sake of battling back Romans, Orkneys, Visigoths, and Saxons, deeds that span beyond 200 years. Much more than one could cap in a career. Maybe the king's not one, but two or three, a composite of several human beings. 2 Glamorgan kings, a Scottish prince, and possibly a man from Massachusetts. With each a deed constructing monomyth, symbolic monolith and sonic waves, riptiding me to ramble on away of ban and boars and other foreign wars, where locals would invoke their own folklore, chiefly hot Sir Lancelot from France and his forbidden romance with the Queen, which was, of course, uncovered by Sir Mordred, the nephew and the bastard of the king, who used all this to fuel an insurrection and took the table round by right succession, all of this amidst a moving backdrop of history confused with knightly romance and Christendom combined with pagan spirit. It's all a mess, and someone should confess, but who am I to even say in jest that Camelot, which shortly shined ideal, never could resemble its appeal? So like I said, I'm tempted yet again to put a unique spin or find some twist that would remix too much for modern myth. Well, that's a task best left to better men, of pens far less removed from wetter ends. There's nothing I can do to change what's said, save speculate on what indeed comes next for Arthur and the future we expect.
Ship approaches shore. Should I fire upon it?
Easy, Page. It's the barge the High Court's been expecting.
The barge of Arthur is just poetic twist, for Bloody Brains explained.
If you insist.
Unidentified barge. Relate your business.
Don't shoot. We come in peace and want of aid.
Show yourself.
I can't. The ship's adrift. I'm lost, sinking in mist. Do something. Quick!
Don't bother. They're but meters from the surface.
Have you official business with the High Court?
I guess so.
Guess so.
Oh, what bloody mess. I don't have time for this.
Mind that abyss, for off its cliff you'll sink should you resist.
We yield.
How many's we?
It's just us three.
A fool.
A wizard?
And the king to be.
Told you so.
What cargo do you tow?
The fallen Arthur.
He was lost at sea with the waning tide at Glastonbury. His time in Avalon never to be.
How long's it been?
More than 1,000 years.
Well, better late than never.
We are here.
But who are you?
I'm Dagonet, his fool.
I picked him up at sea.
Dubbed me most worthy.
Welcome to the realm of Avalon. Where's Arthur?
He lay smitten.
Through the helm.
Where did the grievous blow hit?
From the front?
I heard it from the back by some lone bandit.
Just who says that?
The ones who dropped the axe.
Who'd separate pure myth.
From what's hard fact?
You want some fact? Come have a look yourself. Don't take my word for it.
Very well.
Bring him hither.
Help yourself aboard. He's right over here.
Good Lord.
Page, give report.
Captain, I command I not the wit to relay what I see.
Then out with him. You see?
Indeed.
This blow came from the front.
Pushed back and to the left.
By his own son.
Mordred of Morcades.
Heir to Hades.
Did he act on his own?
He had much help.
From traitor knights at Katelyn.
And what else?
A complex far too vast to understand. I've sworn to never say it.
Can you help him?
Well, he's dead, all right. Get him inside.
What do we tell the others?
Classified.
Well,
Well, what?
well, is he going to make it?
Whatever happens now is up to fate.
What happens if he won't tip either way? His soul forever caught in 3-day space.
True. He could sleep for eternity.
And how long would that be?
How long has it been?
53.
Who's counting?
Arthur is.
My king!
Don't bother with old titles, fool. My crown is rightly stripped before my halo.
Hey, what's up with his accent?
That's not Arthur.
Of course it is. 'Tis I who died at Camlin.
But you're not from New England.
Beg your pardon?
You're not from Massachusetts.
No, I'm not. I'm the former king of Camelot. Or am I all forgot?
Not by us all.
Whoever you are, you're an Avalon.
And all stitched up. My grievous wound is healed. What business have I left here?
You're not healed. The form of your dead spirit may be fixed. But there's grievances for which you must atone.
Grievances? To whom? The traitor knights? 'Tis they who boxed me into such a mess. I at least pursued a course of peace when all around me rallied hard for war.
Yet war is what you brought.
No, I did not. The blood's not on my hands.
That's on King Lot.
True.
But there were sins you did commit.
Recite this laundry list.
'Tis not my place. The High Court of Lefay is on the case.
The High Court of Lefay.
Her fairy grace?
Keep here until you're called.
Enjoy your stay.
What else am I to answer for?
Thy sins.
Which are?
Great deeds unfinished wearing thin.
Just what did I begin?
A revolution.
I, the king, incur a revolution?
The greatest.
Against whom? Myself?
Indeed. And all that festers underneath thy court.
What festers underneath?
Willful deceit.
By whom?
By you.
By me?
Yes, verily. Along with all who'd swear to ne'er come clean.
Well, I've come clean.
Have you?
Somewhat, it seems.
But not completely.
No.
See what I mean?
What do you mean?
Well, why don't you tell me?
I'm asking you.
Yet you're the one who's dirty.
I'm not the king.
You only play his scene.
You're not allowed to know that.
Yes, exactly.
To speak it gets you killed.
Matter of factly.
Is that what happened then?
Yes, more or less. For other reasons, too.
Let's not digress.
Agreed.
You must complete what you'd confess.
I can't.
Why not?
'Tis too close to my chest.
Play it.
No.
You must.
I've said enough. Just act the fool.
Forsooth?
For now, we bluff.
For now, let truth be pacified by liars, who push back dates on documents expired, when once revealed, get too many fired, spilling beans on age-old pyramid schemes, which constitute the Novus Ordo dream. But that's not happening anytime soon, not this year or the next, for old tycoons and their cabal of owl-worshipping goons, who found a network of shadow recruits to maim and frame and murder, so the loot made by the industry of war is rest assured for addicts who crave more and more until they OD on the floor, forever gorged yet somehow ever starving, carving farthings out for peasant folk while bankers bail out faulty credit notes. From nothing but the ether of thin air, the true heirs to the reign of terror shares, who take stock in conglomerating schlock and oligarchic crocks who run this rock. Wait, that's not right. I might have got it botched. This play's supposed to be about King Arthur, not the leader of the new frontier who sought to steer us clear from obfuscations that veer us down the path of subjugation and domination thread by webs of debt. Yet let's reserve such judgment on the set, for fear the playwright could be audited. So yes, there were some other men involved, whose previous sins at last could be resolved by just 3 easy squeezes of the trigger. Or was it 4 or 5? Let's reconfigure. everything we know about that day. Lee Harvey Oswald and the CIA, who had a major beef to pick with Jack over the Bay of Pigs when he held back from sending in the full force of the flag, which left a group of spooks in body bags. That's how it goes when such men left unchecked have more control than leaders we elect. Yet what's this have to do with Avalon? Don't worry, it will all make sense anon, for every myth contains a seed of truth, and Jack must now perform in Arthur's boots. I know that's not how it normally goes, but maybe we'll come up with something close.
Avalon.
The pagan netherworld.
And not to be confused with Christian hell.
Which is where you'd be if not for me.
Who's that?
Morcades, my half-sister.
And mother to the future heir of Hades. 'Twas I who sent that barge on thy behalf.
Is it true?
As far as I can tell, your fate beyond the flesh I do not know.
Beyond, divining rods work best within. My cradle was thy grave.
Step back from me, you witch.
Which? You better watch who you insult. The only friend you have in here is me.
You fooled me once.
Behave.
I know your magic.
Magic? Why, my means are wholly natural.
Too natural for me.
Don't control it. Are not our destinies fully entwined? Of matricide and patricide and...
Let rest. I do not wish to dwell on what we bred.
What else is there to do?
He's right.
You're dead.
Judgment is upon thee here and now.
Like sleeping dogs that lay awake to lie. So spake she once, and all back to the king.
The future yields such unthinkable things.
Arthur, you've been called before the High Court to answer for your crimes against the state.
The state.
Of Avalon, to which you're subject.
Subject. I am king of Camelot.
Once upon a time, but now no longer. That laurel crown was severed from your brow, blown back into the left for all to witness.
I know you can't be blamed for covert crimes.
A policy I plausibly deny. May I remind you, you're the one on trial.
I, a dead man, slave to history?
Your carnal state's beyond my jurisdiction.
'Tis falsified by fantasy and fiction.
Nevertheless, your body passed through death, and now thy spirit's judged like all the rest.
Fine then, carry on if you insist. I'm curious to hear it.
As you wish. Arthur, you are hereby charged with treason and perjury against our deepest state. By magic means we placed you in your throne, your crown allowed by supernatural stone, your might in arms bestowed by fairy blade, advice and counsel offered by a mage, a male heir with his mother's fairy name, and land upon the ancient pagan plain. All of this bestowed on you by us, the court of Avalon, who fund your trust. But you, the coldest warrior in some, did turn his cheek instead for Christendom. What do you say to this, if anything?
I hope to make my world a better place.
For whom?
For those who lived it in the flesh.
Yet turned your back on us.
I plead no contest.
Arthur, is that all you have to say?
It is.
Then I've no choice but turn to trial on counts of treason, perjury, and murder.
Murder?
Of thy son and nephew Mordred.
He is the accuser, I presume.
He is.
I exercise my right to face him.
You cannot at this time. He's damned to hell on counts of patricide and regicide.
Then we cannot proceed.
You must extract him.
Me?
Yes, you. By official decree. If you refuse, I'll sentence you to exile, forgoing any rights to a fair trial.
I guess I have no choice.
You never did.
I would say go to hell.
This court's dismissed.
A word with you, my prince.
The point and quickly.
Arthur is descending into Hades.
The hell he is. He knows I'm rightful heir.
He means to fetch thee hither to the High Court.
What tiresome bureaucracy death is. I will not have it. No, what's done is done. We left on terms as good as they could get, considering the circumstances.
Sure.
Patricide and regicide aside, we too afford full share of separate crowns, and both have what we want. Let all be settled.
Yet settled it be not.
Curse Camelot! I'd laid more claim to reign than either house. A son of Britain, Orkney, and LaFay. Illegitimacy be damned away, and would I could have lorded o'er the realm, bringing truth and harmony and wealth. I'd gladly repeat 10,000 lives to stand up to that traitor's bald-faced lies. Who reigns in Avalon where all is fair?
Though that's not yet the case, hence why he flies.
He's banished?
Endlessly, unless you speak.
Before the High Court.
And?
Mother, of course. To fetch me, he must take me there by force, and that's impossible. Not here in Hades.
Some legal documents may be involved.
In hell, we all have judges to pay off, which doesn't matter. I've been sentenced here. I'm not permit to leave, and I don't want to.
I'm saying that you could, and...
Outwit thee! Who jousts with me on what I'd prophesy? You know not how this episode unfolds.
No, but like you said, we're House LaFay, and technically sojourners.
I am heir.
With ties to each and every other realm. If your father can null and void your sentence, your title and your rank in Hades holds.
Are you inferring I have right claim to all?
My point is made. Resume thy lewd cabal.
Descend into the belly of the beast, that we may feast third eyes on what we seek. Within chaotic deep, a seed of truth, which lays in waiting, ripe to be uproot, from stories wrapped in riddled allegories, dating back to times so old and hoary, written off as nothing but old wives' tales. Unscientific, native epic mind fails, promoting information void of fact, yet keeping tiny details well intact, and hidden from the hordes of Baphomet, who'd change them so the masses would forget. That seed which roots us all back to the tree, the firmament, and stars within the sea. New science fiction or old superstition? Don't look at me. I'm not here on a mission. Each of you must draw your own conclusions on whether or not devils breed collusions between two political majorities, all royalty pledging their loyalties to everyone except the common man who's blind to every symbol of this clan. I'm not inclined to tell you all the details, but we're fully controlled. Just check your Gmail or Facebook, Twitter, cell phone, or your trousers for private thoughts recorded by your browsers, signed, sealed, delivered to the NSA, while we're distracted by the 4th of May and other social programs on the tube which work to shape our yearly attitudes. These aren't just platitudes. This is for real. They're just too much to be concealed, and way too much to all reveal at once to those who do not know they play the dunce. Yet maybe I'm the dunce for even trying. I should just get on board with all the spying and secrecy with shills who'd have a laugh at those left in the dark about their caste. Yet I would rather walk a thorny path to serve the truth for as long as I last. For myth is not the opposite of fact. It was designed to hold our past intact and keep it safe from those who make us slaves by keeping our attention on the cave. This world of shadows can return to light, but only if we join Jack in the fight, for which my part is done. Now you must finish. The revolution Satan would diminish.
Oberon!
My liege,
I need more data.
I'll change your plan. For now, connect to Wi-Fi.
The password?
Safety pinned upon thy back.
Again?
Of course, my liege.
I cannot reach it.
Hence, you cannot lose it.
Very well. Take a pic and send it as a text.
My liege,
What now?
you know that can't be done.
Why not?
The eye of God,
Is rarely watching.
and when it is,
Whatever would it matter? I signed a non-compete for my surveillance.
indeed,
We are two branches of one state.
God, the babyface,
And I, his heel, allied and made to spy on all his subjects.
and keep concealed his most substantial secrets.
The afterlife is no democracy.
It's oligarchy.
Soon a monarchy. I am heir to Satan and his power. The privilege to corrupt and lead astray.
Technically, that's shared with Lady Faye.
Her minions come and hoover out my coffers, then transfer made-up credit to her cabinet.
Your resources are virtually endless.
That's not the point.
What is?
Appearances. The roads in Hades have all gone to hell, and I keep sending bricks of pixie dust across her border virtually untaxed. Her hauls are great, and yet she's strapped for cash.
The wheel of mass deceit needs to be greased. The damned are all distracted.
For how long? This interweb is troublesome at best.
What about the porn?
I've sold subscriptions, but there are few who use it for the truth.
The truth?
And nothing but, or something close.
Clearly, they can't figure everything.
Obviously.
But
They're on to us.
hence why I cannot text thee through thy Wi-Fi.
Fine. Hold up your phone. Invert the lens. Petulant? What's that mean?
What do you have? Where travels Arthur?
He's out of Avalon. Through the Antarctic.
The outer ring?
The pole.
If you insist.
I do and will.
For kicks?
That's politics.
Mordred,
Dad?
I'm here to bring you home.
And what do you figure that would accomplish?
We need to tell the truth.
They won't believe it.
Yes, they will.
Well, some of them for sure. But most of them cannot be bothered with such a burden.
Why not?
Because there's nothing they can do.
That's not true.
Your knowledge changes nothing.
Of course it does. It changes everything.
Perception may be sure, but that is all.
Exactly. That is all.
No, you're mistaken. Perception is as fickle as the wind, and always changes on the slightest whim. The only thing that matters here is action.
Then I intend to play.
And I to stay.
You're coming home.
But hell is now my throne. Really, Dad, your blade is old and weak. Its aim untrue, as always poor technique. God has changed, and yet I am not ashamed. Seamless 2-day pop, none to blame. The traitor knights, King Lot, Morgan Le Fay, Mossad, the mob, Russia, or CIA. Oh, see you, fool. They're all the same. Ruby, Oswald, Curtis LeMay, LBJ, the Anglo-Saxon horde, the Picts, the Orkneys crossing Cameron's Ford. We're all involved. The whole damn country did it. That's why nobody talks. They're all complicit. You think you get the right to speak the truth? The truth always falls, you lying fool.
Well struck, my son. Well struck.
This duel is done. I killed you once and would 1,000 times.
I doubt it not. Yet grant me my last words.
My blade now makes them famous.
So we've heard.
Or haven't.
Help me drag him out the back.
I've got his legs.
Quickly.
Moment, Kodak.
Where are we?
On the barge of Arthur.
Bollocks. How the hell did he slip past my guards?
Your agents had been ordered to stand down, sir.
Stand down. By whom? And under whose authority?
The devils. By executive order.
Give me that. Just what the hell is this?
Can't you read? It's NSAM 666. All souls banished to hell receive fair trial before the highest court in Avalon.
Liar.
No, my liege, he speaks the truth. I told you that your father had a case.
But I am heir to hell. It's in my contract.
That's true, but this would override that clause. It's in the devil's fine print, sir.
God damn it. He told me there was nothing to scan over.
And you believed him?
Yes, why wouldn't I?
It may have been an oversight.
That's rich.
Who are you?
'Tis I, King Arthur's sidekick,
Sidekick.
Ha!
Sir Dagonet's my fool.
and official knight of thy round table.
Which was destroyed. Your titles don't mean spit.
You watch your tongue.
The devil made me do it.
When we get home, I'm taking you to Mother.
And if you do, she'll have my baby brother.
What did you just say?
You heard me, Daddy.
I think he just implied that.
Shut up, fool.
No, please, and by all means, do spell it out.
Well, technically he'd be.
I said enough. You are in hot water.
That's redundant. We sailed the Lake of Fire.
Once and all. You're never coming back here.
No, you cannot make me.
Yes, you can.
How so?
We're being called before the High Court. If Arthur is found guilty of your crimes, then you would be absolved of all your sins.
But I don't want to be.
Tough nuts, kid.
But I was supposed to be the king of hell. I don't want to serve in Avalon. I killed my father. Isn't that enough?
I killed you first.
He's right, my liege.
My throat hurts.
Instead of Camelot, hail Vietnam, a new utopia of napalm bombs, where cornucopias of ammunition are manufactured for wars of attrition, while politicians draft those who can't vote, then ship them off to slit poor farmers' throats, who'd rather live a red than end up dead. But, oh, no bother, pump 'em full of lead, burn their homes and rape their commie wives, and then just push it all out of your mind. Despite what Walter Cronkite might surmise, or all those body bags on Channel 5, it's for democracy, our way of life, which won't unravel if we lose the strife that's half a globe away from those who slayed our leader who knew better than to stay, stuck up in the muck of a civil war, enforcing Pax Americana for the ubris of the Joint Chiefs and their stooge. Bill Westmoreland, who thought we couldn't lose, for we were backed by U.S. industry, which proved worthless to locals in the trees, who knew the land like the back of their hands, so death was in supply by our demand. Like Smedley Butler said, war's just a racket, designed to pierce flak jackets that can't hack it, so factories can keep on making more, like bulbs designed to burn out at the core. So we'll keep forking over hard-earned cash, just to throw our children in the trash. And while they fight for nothing in the shit, Jody stays at home to wet his dick, fucking our wives and perpetrating lies on countries we attempt to colonize. But those at home who went to war with flowers soon came to odds with unspeakable powers. Co-intel pros who had a secret file on anybody brave enough to rile, crowds conspiring civil unrest like Malcolm, Martin, and James Marshall Hendricks, whose legacy was stained by jugs of wine, shoved down his lungs to make his sixes nines. That's how he died, so fly his freak flag high, to show those lying bastards we know why. The good die young, 'cause they don't hold their tongues, and nor will I, until their songs are sung.
The trap is set, with springs I won't regret, and time now hard at hand is unforgiving. Yet how much longer must I play the role of villain, bigot, monster, troll, and traitor? 'Tis easy to bespeckle me these titles by well-intentioned but unknowing fools. The truth to their chagrin is quite uncouth, as I admit my history is bleak, and those who seek will find my skull and bones colluding with the worst souls in the land. But in order to enact my master plan, I had to cater to their worst demands and summon up the basis of desire. Why? Because this realm's not bent towards justice. It arcs towards death, dictatorship, and power, where I, the rightful offspring of the king who spilled my blood upon a bay of pigs, must claim my birthright back again from God. It may not be polite to seize what's mine. It may not cater to my best of self. It may not even in the end be right. But I am not polite. I'm not a saint. And all hell's damn deplorables won't wait. For power is not transferred, it is taken. And those who would deny it are mistaken.
We've reached the shore of Avalon, my liege.
Good. Our plot unfolds as we have planned.
Arthur will be down to round us up.
I'm counting on it.
Sir,
I hold a trump.
a trump?
You're stumped.
Your train of thought I bumped.
The petulance I played was mere charade.
What are your thoughts in private, then?
Revenge.
On whom?
On Arthur, Avalon, and God.
Indeed, you are the reigning heir to hell.
And when I'm cleared in court, I've claim to all.
This is true in theory.
Soon in practice.
You cannot take the netherworld by force.
Not by mine own arm, no.
Then with the devils?
Whose winged minions answer to my will.
What will you do as regent?
Change regimes from oligarchy to a monarchy.
And what about democracy?
'Tis fiction, illusion, representing contradiction.
Forgive me if I seem a little thick.
Apologies, it's just a rich man's trick.
Explain it quick.
We bait and switch both sides, then wait it out to figure out the victor.
And when he's crowned?
Mankind was made to fall, so I can spy my evil eye on all.
Mordred,
Dad,
it's time to go see Mother.
then let's away. No other has my druthers.
Mordred,
Mother,
what happened to you?
Father stabbed me in the throat.
You what?
Well, he wouldn't come when he was called.
What am I, a dog?
You are my subject.
Was your subject.
Both of you enough?
Sorry, Mother.
Arthur,
Let's play nice.
I'm following your lead.
For now, at least.
the court will rectify our family feud.
Feud.
We too engage in civil war.
The stakes again are raised.
Let them be cold. Arthur, you must clear your son of blame, and then you will be granted clemency
Clemency.
by pardon of Lefay.
And how should I do that?
Just tell the truth.
The truth is that Sir Mordred is a traitor.
I did what I did to protect our safety.
From who?
From you.
From me. But why?
You know.
I don't.
Liar, you turned your back on us, then plotted with the enemy at large.
That sounds a lot like you.
I am your seed. Yet I would not betray my country's name
I didn't. I pursued a course of peace.
and undermine the state which propped you up.
A king is not a king.
What is he then?
A figurehead.
Of what?
Of Avalon,
I exercise my right to lead my people.
away from those who placed you on the throne.
Your ancient ways have long been out of touch
With what?
with their emerging new frontier, where subjects do not worship, masters serve.
The people never know what's best for them. That's why they'll always vote against self-interest.
They're ignorant.
Hence why we need to teach them.
No,
There are secrets they can't know.
They must.
but they will never.
That's the point.
So this is why I have been charged with treason.
You cannot clear your name.
I can and will,
Our destinies won't change.
till mine's fulfilled. What do I plead? To whom should I concede? My conscience or the rule of tyranny? If I submit, then Mordred will go free, his shadow left unchecked, forever hell-bent. But if I try to clear my Christian name, the court would find me guilty all the same, and all our sins would never be absolved. Call I now on magic or on God?
The latter, since the former is a fraud.
Dagonet,
My liege,
what should I do?
you're asking me?
I am.
Do what you can.
What can I do then?
Nothing that you should.
Fool,
My liege,
I'm asking your advice.
and I just gave it thee,
You speak in jest.
which is the best advice I have to offer.
Your counsel is pure folly.
Aye, indeed. For what I say is never what I mean.
What do you mean then?
Honestly,
Yes, please.
you'd have me spell it out?
Dot I's, cross T's.
All right, then. There is nothing you should do.
Nothing.
Nada.
No, I won't accept it.
You must.
I won't.
Then don't.
If so,
So what?
so what should I be doing then?
Nothing.
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 Nothing that I should.
Instead,
I must commit to what I can.
what can you do?
The very thing I shouldn't.
Get it now?
I think I understand. The state is deep and rooted in deceit like cavities that creep beneath false teeth. Tear them out or drill down their canals where nerves have long been dead, propped up instead by yes-men who won't question what's unchecked. For doing so endangers re-election, so evil eyes can spy on bulk collections. Data, debt, awash in public sweat. Two sides at war with nothing but no end. Fascist dread or status quo corruption.
Take your pick.
But neither suits my gumption. Rushing, hushing, shushing, floss and rinse. The mouth is dead, decayed forever since such breath blew hope that votes could change the show, that politics could somehow flip the script on those who dangle out a carrot stick as we, forever chomping at the bit, continue on pratfalling for the shtick that who we choose will represent our needs instead of serving what the deep state feeds.
Pull him out.
It's time to make a stand.
Don't dwell on what you should.
Do what you can.
Liftoff. Roger, clock. Clock start flight, Roger. Thrusters go, all engines, Roger. Clear the tower. Roger, we got a roll program. Flight 5 up. Roger, roll. Roger, active.
So come what may, and soon, without delay, for Arthur and the other souls who make a composite of men into one king, like silly strings of photographs linking airbrush strokes made logical by math, only the most advanced could ever grasp. For men who rank in 33 degrees now keep the keys to what the public sees, and what they cannot see they will not question, and what they will not question is deception. But such deception fuels our insurrection, which promises to root out false inceptions, a ruse so massive none dare entertain, as dissonance engulfs all brains in chains, for truly mankind landed on the moon. To question such a truth marks you alone, a quack, a hack, who thinks the earth is flat, surrounded by an ice ring so compact that it compelled a universal treaty to keep power intact for all the greedy. But if that were the truth, what would it mean for NASA and those Nazi minds we gleaned from sheets between a secret paperclip that sent a spaceship on a rocket trip, blasting off straight through the Kármán line, Van Allen belt, and other smart designs, then peaked atop a rock made out of cheese, which we've avoided since like a disease? But what about old Jack? What was his role when testing nukes within our own fishbowl? An operation stemming from a high jump? Well, maybe that's a stretch to try and lump two military procedures together, some years apart, yet similar in letter, so patently absurd to drag Dick Bird into the very thing that got him murdered. Was Jack casting a line out for a dome and hoping to learn some more about our home? Let's hope the UN flag isn't a map of everything our leaders would redact. Then fly on high and right affront our faces, hiding in plain sight, obscuring traces of clues that lead the willing towards the truth, and far from what indoctrinates our youth. Masonic fires must be fought with ire. Get mad, or we'll remain in this quagmire. Now let's pretend the powerful are lying, and what they're selling Jack and I aren't buying.
Eureka. For go flight. TN6. Or go flight.
Attention!
The court is now in session.
Your Honor,
Yes?
I've written a confession.
Hand it to me.
No, I'd like to read it.
Very well, then.
Avalon, be seated.
How do you plead?
Your Honor, I plead guilty of treason toward my mother and my son, and treason towards this deep, eternal state.
Thy mortal crown is cleanly cleft asunder, and you have nothing left but deeds you did, and deeds you hid while squandering thy gifts. A shape-shifting companion as a guide, the mighty sword Excalibur, full ride, even this sad fool sent from our tides.
I use them all for murder and deceit.
Horrors spun as great heroic deeds,
Round-tabled termites taking my command.
as Camelot lay rotten by thy hand.
There's nothing I can do to spin the past. That I now accept and understand. But everybody here still has a chance to reckon with the truth now hard at hand.
Which is?
That Avalon itself is guilty of murdering its once and future king.
We told you not to say it!
There's no need. Your silence speaks, officially decreed.
Eventually we come back to the Fed and blow our whistles on the IRS. For if we hope to find a common thread within this tangled mess of spider webs, we need to know that Jack had posed a threat and hit them where it hurt, inside their wallets. U.S. notes designed for our deposit, certificates of silver, free of interest, $4 billion worth, which had been printed by one stroke of a pen that sealed his fate, and cast him as an enemy of the state. Which state, you ask? Not the United States. That place doesn't exist to tell it straight. Not like you thought it did, as I insist that where we live is run by a cartel, a banking mob producing bombs and shells as their primary source of industry. Not food or cars, but war, officially. And when you ask, they'll scoff and shrug it off, discredit you, or ditch you in a trough, just like they did to everyone who saw the limousine which grinded to a halt. And now we're here. I don't know what to say, except to learn the context of the day, because the details will lead you astray from knowing all the enemies Jack made, for in the fog of war the mist is thick, and soldiers act as cogs, now marching quick, like gears turning through years, though no one's learning, for everybody loses when they're burning. Contracting and attracting new disease, with venom pulsing through our veins with ease. We're sleepwalking through gaunt skeleton crews. I look and seek, yet cannot tell who's who. Are they patriots, or are they traitors? Bad Christians, or good pagans? Christ, or Satan? Eating flesh, or burning wooden owls? Heaven sent, or flush from Hades' bowels? Yet mark the mist which briefly fades away, as clarity reveals a great charade where every player hopes to break a leg, or have it blown off clear by powder keg. Right here, within this little theater, our politics for now are mirroring the scripts our founding fathers won't produce. So let it be a warning to us all that fools compelled to heed King Arthur's call, who'd improvise and speak their minds off book, are ultimately destined for the hook.
Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, my how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see.
You've been listening to The Court of Avalon, written and directed by Tim Bungeroth. Audio effects and post-production by Katelyn Sinclair. Poster design by Jack Nyland. Musical arrangement by Julie Nichols. Featured in the cast were Beau O'Reilly as Merlin, Lee Brophy as Paige and Mordred, Megan Bungeroth as Faye and Morcades, Alex Shapiro as Dagonet, Sebastian Bitticks as Oberon, Ian Wojcikiewicz as Captain, and Tim Bungeroth as Jack Kennedy as King Arthur.